Hi, this is Damien Foley, and this is my MBA journey at the Melbourne Business School. And I'm just going to give a bit of a debrief on what I did for the weekend. So, as I previously discussed, I did my debrief for Thursday on Friday. So, what I basically did Saturday was nothing much really. I went out on Friday night. I woke up on yesterday morning, and went to the gym. And I then done some, just went, what did I do? I went to the AFL Grand Final. I went to the MCG. I didn't actually go into the game, but I went outside. There was a big screen TV, and you can actually check that out on Instagram. I've got a couple of videos up there of where I was. I only stayed around for the first quarter, and then I left at about 3 o'clock to come back home because I knew I had some work. So I actually started doing some of my social responsibility and ethics individual assignment when I got back home. I then had a phone conversation with my friend from up in Brisbane who I hadn't spoke to for a week. So yeah, and then I went to bed. Then this morning, I I went to the gym. I caught up with my mate, doctor friend, who is studying down here, and we caught up for brunch. I haven't seen him for about 3 weeks because I've been going to Melbourne Business School on the weekends over the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weekends. So I haven't seen him in about 3 weeks. So it was good to catch up with him. He's down here studying become a fellow of rheumatoid pediatrics. So something very specialised. So it was good to catch up, and we basically talked about a little bit about work, about what we were each doing, but because he basically works and studies, we also talked about things like Netflix just to break up the store to steer clear of work topics, because that's all he really does is work and study. In saying that, he also has a young family. He got married a couple of years ago, and has a 6-month old son. So he so talked about Netflix. I'm watching Spartacus, and he's watching Veronica Mars with his wife for their us time. So yeah, we went to caught up at the Roasted Warehouse there in North Melbourne for brunch, and I had the Jackie Chan, which was an interesting fusion of poached egg with a Chinese or Asian influenced fusion. So it was actually really nice, actually. So yeah. Then I went straight to the university. I walked to the university there, Melbourne Business School, and continued to work on my social responsibility and ethics assignment. Now, in actually doing that, I Google searched. I couldn't exactly work out how I was going to set out my social responsibility and ethics assignment. I had an idea of what needed to be included. I knew I had to do an introduction of what the actual ethical dilemma was. I also had to, we've previously done in class where when we're doing an assessment of a situation, we include who the stakeholders are, so I wanted to include that. And the assignment asked us to cover off on the 3 ethical design frameworks. So I needed to cover off on that, and then it actually prescribed in the assignment task to then say how would that have changed your decision based upon those 3 ethical design frameworks, and how did it compare to your actual decision that you made. So I wasn't quite following the articles that we were given as part of the subject. So I actually did a bit of a Google and came across an article by Brown University over in the USA, and it was science and technology. So if you want to find that, I'll actually put it onto my my website at www.damienfoley.com/MBA and go to the 30th, so 20190930A, because that's where I'll have the link to where I found this particular article. And it set it out very well as far as explained it very well. The ethical design framework and the different approaches that can be used as part of those theories that are applied. You've got to read it sort of backwards, because it actually talks about the theory and the approaches under those theories. And then later on, it starts to talk about the actual design frameworks of around so consequence, non-consequence, and virtue, or so duty and virtue. Duty's framework and the virtue of framework. So yeah, I found that a lot easier by using that actual article for setting it out. So that's how I set it out. And for the consequence part of the assignment for the framework, what I actually did was set it out that okay, this is a consequence of this decision. If I went the positive, if I went affirmative for the decision, what's the positive impact, what's the negative impact, and then if I made the decision in the affirmative, what would be the positive impact, or what would be the negative impact of that. And that's how I laid out those for my particular situation for the consequence framework, ethical framework. So I was able to knock over and finish the assignment within the 1,400 word requirement. I think I was 1,430 words that I actually had, so easily within the give or take 10% for the word count, easily. So I was happy with that. I'm happy with the assignment. I haven't lodged it as yet because I just want to double check with people, my student cohort, just to double check that I have actually answered the question correctly. So yes, the next part is after I finished was I started doing my readings for managing people. So I'd done the first reading, which I'll bring up here. And the first reading was on week 2. For the week 2 readings, is the key to happiness at work isn't money, it's autonomy. So it basically goes through that, and the key takeaway is that if you actually give your employees autonomy within a scope or a framework with a defined outcome that you want them to achieve, either as individuals or as a team, they will actually perform a lot better. And autonomy is actually ranked in the top 3 things that employees seek in a job position. So that was very interesting in that regard. So, and I've got another one that I've just started, so I'll read it, and that'll be my readings for managing people. I was able to actually also lodge yesterday I lodged the survey password that I have for managing people. As you might recall, I said on for the last video that I wasn't able to actually submit the password that was required for that survey. It became available, and I lodged that last night. So I did that. Also done my reflective questions. The reflective questions for managing people for week one after the class wasn't actually so. It was actually the questions set by the facilitator lecturer, and it was more around what we hope to achieve from doing managing people. What do we want as the outcomes, or to gain from the course? And basically, how I looked at it was I looked at it in three ways. The first was what I wanted to learn for myself as a manager or a leader, how I wanted to learn and what I wanted to know about myself as in terms of to better at myself as a manager or a leader. The second one was how can I identify better in the people that I'm working with, as far as my direct reports, working with them, how can I make them a better team or as individuals be a better manager for them, for the return a more productive and efficient outcome by working with them. And the third one was how do I work within the organisation as far as to attain the goals of the organisation, or as part of the team's outcomes or the individual's outcomes or my own outcomes towards attaining the goals of the organisation, to better do that as part of in managing the goals or objectives. So that were the three broad areas that I looked at for the reflective question when I responded. And we were required was the magic number of 7. So between 5 and 9, which is 7 or 2. Yes. So yes, that was my reflective response to the question was for myself. What can I do better, and how can I understand myself, and where can I learn? Secondly, for the people I'm managing or leading, be it the individual or the team, how can I better do that for them and for their goals and my own purpose, and how can I do it for the organisation as far as management and leadership, around the organisation's goals, the individual's goals or the team goals, for those that I'm managing, and also myself. How can I align those? So that were the areas. So yes, I've got to get ready. I've done cooked up everything for prep for putting together the meals. I'll get all that ready this evening and put together my meal prep. So yeah, I'll have first thing in the morning. I'll be able to grab that out of and take it to work. So that's where I'm up to. I haven't done my data analysis studies. I need to do that. It's very important. I hope will actually complete that by tomorrow. So I've only got this managing people article to read, and then I'll be able to jump straight into doing the data analysis, which would take 1 or 2 hours to do. So I'll knock that over tomorrow night in prep for Thursday night, because I think I have something that I've planned for Wednesday night to go out, but I'm not exactly I'm not required to go to that. I'll see how I go as far as getting the rest of my studies done. If I do, then I'll go. If I don't, then I won't. It's as simple as that. So, okay, guys, I'm going to sign out. This is if you want to follow me on YouTube, you can follow me at Damien Foley. My blog is at www.damienfoley.com/MBA. Instagram is DG Foley, or one word, and LinkedIn is Damien Foley 1. So if you want to find me, Google search LinkedIn, Damien Foley 1. Okay, guys, I'm signing out, and I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.